Something strange is happening right now. Every time I look on TikTok, everyone's talking about the end times, prophecy, end times, global war, things that the Bible talked about 1,000 years ago. The question is, are these TikToks really showing real signs, or are people being misled? Today, we are reacting to the most viral TikToks on the internet, and we're going to compare that to what the Bible actually says about the last days. Because Jesus told us something very important. Watch. So let's see what's really going on.
What I'm going to show you in this video is not going to be easy to watch, but you need to understand that it has happened in the past, and this is still happening, I believe. One of the reasons why God had the children of Israel wipe out certain people in the surrounding region wasn't because they were just bad people. No, they were practicing demonic things, like sacrificing their children to the god of Moloch. Where do you think all of this demonic imagery comes from? When you consider how many children have gone missing in the States and in the world, you gotta wonder, where are these children going? And yes, we're thankful for the few that are rescued and found from the trafficking world, but that doesn't account for the large number of children that are still missing. And I realize that a lot of people just want to listen to positive stuff, but you can't dismiss the evil in front of us. This should make your stomach turn and feel grieved inside. And as a father of two little ones, I weep when I see these things. Will these people ever be found and brought to justice under judicial law? Probably not. But understand that God sees all and knows all, and Judgment Day is coming soon. Go.
Wow, what do you guys think so far? It's getting crazy out there. Just remember that this is for entertainment purposes. Make sure you guys go out and you do your own research. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Go be the salt and light. Preach the gospel that calls all to repentance.
This might just be the best flat earth proof you've ever come across. And trust me, it's going to make you rethink everything. You've heard all the theories about Earth being round, right?
What do you guys think? Do you think that we're there? Do you think seals have been opened? And how many seals do you think have been opened?
We've all seen the pictures from space, the CGI animations, the globe in classrooms. But what if all of that was just part of a larger story? What if you've been missing something right in front of your eyes this entire time? According to what we've been told, the Earth's circumference is about 24,901 miles. Okay, cool. But if that were true, there would need to be a very specific amount of curvature happening as we move across the planet. I mean, we're supposed to be on a ball, right? So naturally it should curve in every single direction, not just the one you're looking at. Think about it for a second. On a ball, no matter where you are, the ground beneath you should bend away. But when you actually look for that curvature, where is it? Now here's where it gets interesting. Instead of relying on NASA's billion-dollar equipment and fisheye lenses, what if you just took matters into your own hands? Some people have done just that, sending high-altitude balloons with regular, non-distorted lenses. And what do you see? No curve. A flat horizon as far as the eye can see. Flat, straight, level. You ever wonder why they're called air?
Yeah, I totally believe in flat earth and the concept of biblical context, because that's what it is. It is biblical.
Planes are not air balls. They fly straight across the sky, never curving, to match the supposed curvature of a globe. If we were on a ball, wouldn't they need to constantly adjust their altitude? But they don't. They fly level, and don't even get me started on gravity, because let's face it, that's just a theory. After all these years, gravity still hasn't been proven. What we do know, water doesn't stick to a ball. Ever tried balancing water on a
Buoyancy and density.
basketball? Exactly. The math is another thing that doesn't add up. There's supposed to be a curve of about 8 inches per mile squared. So why don't we ever see it? From high up, you'd expect to see a pretty clear curve, yet the horizon stays flat. That's something you can see with your own eyes. No need for fancy space agencies to tell you otherwise. So why the push to make us believe we're spinning on a ball through space? What's the end game here? Here's the thing. You don't have to take anyone's word for it, not even mine. Just think critically, look around you. Everything in your everyday experience shows a flat, stationary world. They've been pushing the globe model on us since we were kids, but why? Maybe it's time we start questioning that narrative, and don't feel bad if you've believed in the globe your whole life. We've all been there, myself included. But once you start doing your own research, things start making a lot more sense. Suddenly it clicks. The flat earth isn't just a theory for some fringe group. There are real, undeniable proofs right in front of us. You've just got to be willing to see them.
It is often said that there's nothing to suggest.
Okay, in case some of y'all are wondering why I put that video in there, I put the flat earth video in there because I think it's a great way for someone to start their journey, a great starting point. Because flat earth, trying to whether figure it out if you believe it or not. If you don't believe it, go try proving it wrong, and then see where that leads you, and then see where that leads you. Because eventually all truth leads to the man upstairs.
Suggest that the earth is flat. So today I'm going to be going over the top 3 arguments for flat earth. Starting with microwave links. Microwave transmissions travel very different to radio waves. They travel in a narrow beam rather than a wide beam, typically requiring them to have direct line of sight. As you can see here with this prompt, microwave link transmissions typically are limited to 30 to 40 miles because of the curvature of the earth. And just so we know, microwaves generally do not bounce off the atmosphere until they debunk the curvature of the earth. Today we're going to be speaking about the world record microwave link transmission. It was 830 miles done from a fishing boat to a buoy. So this wasn't somebody trying to propagate a signal from on top of a mountain. The observer height is probably max 60 feet. That's probably giving a little bit. And then the receiver, the buoy, looks like about 4 to 5 feet tall. The transmission was received over 830 miles. So let me get this straight. Microwave link transmissions travel similar to like lasers, a very narrow beam, and typically require direct line of sight. And you think it's possible to transmit from a fishing boat to a buoy 830 miles? Give me a break. This is the best flat earth evidence there is out there. Also, we can't forget that we also have other signals that are above the ionospheric propagation rate. So they would penetrate the ionosphere, and they're going 2,000 miles, 1,000 miles, 1,500 miles very easily. So, problem. That does not work on a globe unless the signal is just ping-ponging, which we'd need evidence of skip zones, obviously, and we don't have that. The second best argument that I don't see a lot of flat earthers using, which we need to use much more, would be gyroscopic equipment inside of planes, but specifically the SR-71. This thing absolutely decimates the idea that we are on a spinning ball. The attitude indicator would have to reflect a drop of 9.5 miles every 60 seconds because this thing flies at 2,200 miles an hour. And just so we know, yeah, if we're flying over a curved surface, this thing can't stay flat and level. I don't care what's making it not stay flat and level and what's making it follow the curvature of the earth, but I'll tell you what, nothing is causing it to go 836 feet per second down to follow the curvature of the earth. Absolutely nothing. The earth's flat. That's why in FAA manuals and also NASA, when they're talking about rigid bodies of plane flying over the earth,
It's also in the name, plane, airplane. You're flying over a plane is flat. They put it right in front of our faces, people.
they all assume the earth is flat and stationary, because it is. Before we get too far, there's also an Army research laboratory talking about propagating electromagnetic fields over a flat earth. Very interesting. Now, my third and final argument for the best evidence that the earth is flat is one that is brought up quite often. Now, we just simply see too far for the ocean's surface to be convexing, which also just defies fluid dynamics and statics. We never see water convex at the surface at an average rate. But anyway, this cannot be explained on a globe. It literally does not work unless you say that refraction is just following the curvature of the earth, which actually they do say that. It's pretty insane, which would make it unfalsifiable, which would make it not science, similar to gravity. But there should be about 20 miles of curvature in between this guy and this island, and there's not, because the earth is flat. Now, before I go, if you do know anybody that doesn't think that there's any flat earth evidence, please share this video with them. Ruin their day. Have a good one.
They are not who you think.
It definitely is a day ruiner, especially if you're someone like me that grew up. Like, I used to believe in, like, the stars and that there were planets out there and all this shit, all the stuff that we've been lied to about from NASA and their lies. What do you guys think?
Think they are. And they have been here a lot longer than you realize. That's Andrew Jackson for the uninitiated. And that is Andrew Jackson's wife. Andrew Jackson's wife and Miss Maxwell. And like I said, they are not who you think they are. But it's not just them. It's all of them. They have been here a lot longer than you realize.
Holy, that's crazy.
General Patton. And these are a whole bunch of sports stars. Tom Brady, Larry Hagman, Houdini, Joe Burrow, Mickey Mantle, Christian McCaffrey, Kobe Bryant, Wilt Chamberlain, H.P. Lovecraft, Michael Phelps, Travis Kelce, the guy who created the Pony Express, Michael Jordan and Jackie Robinson. It's all...
The Michael Jordan one and Jackie Robinson, that's one I'm kind of iffy about. All the others, though, they look pretty telling to his hypothesis here. Let's hear more.
All of them. Teddy Roosevelt, Robin Williams, who is supposedly dead but is now Uncle Pappy, who literally age reduced to become this guy, young Uncle Pappy, Blair. Viggo Mortensen, Kirk Douglas, Richard and Karen Carpenter, who are literally now Dexter, aka Michael C. Hall and Celine Dion. The entire cast of Seinfeld, who all used to be other known actors, stars. If you can't see that Kramer used to literally be Dean Martin, well then you should probably get your eyes checked. Do you really think Taylor Swift just resembles the Church of Satan's Zena LaVey that much? No, that's her. Do you really think Hugh Jackman just resembles country singer who died at age 33, Keith Whitley, that much? No, they're the same entity. They're not human. They're fallen angels who have been here all along. That's Rudolph Steiner, who became Keith Whitley, who became Hugh Jackman. That's Dale Earnhardt, who supposedly hit a wall, and that's Morgan Wallen. I don't just speculate on this. I don't just mash faces together and say they're the same.
Wow, that's very interesting. Very interesting. What do you guys think? Can you guys jump on this conspiracy train and think that maybe these are fallen angels and that they hop between bodies or never die? I don't know. It's the fact that we've been lied to about everything that we can't trust anything. So we all have to jump through these holes and trying to figure out what's really going on in this world because of the fact that we've been lied to about absolutely everything. Except the only thing that we do have is the Word, the Bible, because God says that the Word will be protected and it will be the only thing left standing when we're all done here. Let's go ahead and continue.
I provide evidence. Evidence like Morgan Wallen having a gaping scar under his right eye. Kind of like, exactly like Dale Earnhardt, who hit a wall. Morgan Wallen. They're mocking you, and I'm trying to help you. And it's all of them, even your heroes like Tom Brady with the exact same butt chin as I Dream of Jeannie star Larry Hagman, the exact same lips and nose and forehead wrinkles and hairline. But it's not just the symmetry, folks. I don't speculate. I prove, because even though they can shapeshift, their markings, their scars, their physical markings remain the same, kind of like these two and those two on Larry Hagman and Tom Brady. And they always tell us,
Yes, Julian. Watch out, I'm still
look out, Julian, you're getting older and I'm still staying the same age. And then the other guy says, yes, he is. Funny how his style hasn't changed over the years. They're mocking you. And I'm here trying to help you, show you that you live in a spiritual world run by shape-shifting fallen angels. And as crazy as you might think that sounds, it's reality. But of course, all this is for entertainment purposes. I don't care about liberating humanity from these fallen ones. No, do it for the views. I'm a satire account. Entertainment only.
Right? This is for entertainment purposes only.
What if I told you all the presidents, and I mean all of them, were still alive? But I wasn't going to just speculate on it. I was going to prove it. Here's Teddy Roosevelt. Here's Robin Williams. And that's both of their wives. And here's Andrew Jackson and his wife. And, well, what if we paired a younger picture with Miss Jackson with Miss Maxwell? Do you think that they might just fit pretty well down to the lips, the nose, and eye placement? And what if this goes back to our very first president and his wife, Martha? Funny how he looks a little more feminine than her. And a subscriber, Samantha, pointed out the resemblance of Glenn Close and George Washington. Funny, Glenn, especially spelled like Glenn Close, Glenn. It's a funny name for a girl. You want to see something even funnier? Here's Glenn Close's husband, and, well, do you recognize him? How about now? That's Martha Washington. Glenn Close's husband, Martha Washington. And I'm going to stop after this one for a second. Here's the 25th president, William McKinley, and I couldn't help but notice how identical he looked to Dumb and Dumber star Jeff Daniels. Oh, and the first time I ever happened to see this, they started talking about Dumb and Dumber randomly on the TV in the very first second.
Wow, look at that. He even has the same hairline. That's crazy. Wow.
You know what's even funnier than that is how he's got a little mark right there. Good old President McKinley. And oh, look at that. So does Jeff Daniels. I did a 10-minute video on this that I'm testing out for the subscribers of mine, because if anything's going to get censored and shut down and give me account bans and strikes and warnings, it's this one. And let me tell you what that whole video is about. It's how they're not human. Here's Alec Baldwin and President Fillmore. And I say they're not human, and they tell us what they are. Just like the Book of Enoch says, fallen angels are referred to as stars. Go watch the 10-minute video. I'll release it eventually, but I need to test the waters because it's a doozy, and I think it explains exactly what's going on. But of course, all this is for entertainment purposes. I'm sure that they all just are doppelgangers.
This is not truly Christian.
Yo, that was a really dope hypothesis. Shout out to the fittest flat earther.
You see the spiritual advisor right here? Let me show you a little bit. Before you say, oh, how are you to say that? By their fruits, you will know them. Here's a spiritual advisor.
I want $100,000 to come in. I want $100,000. There are people, there are 10 people that could give $10,000. There's 100 people that could give $1,000. Get a check, make it payable to Paula White Ministry. There are people that are watching right now. If you say, I don't have it, give $100. Bring up a sacrificial seed. This is for me. This is about kids that will die without you being obedient. There's only 3 envelopes. I'm not moving. I'm not going to lay hands on people.
I'm sorry, I can't really, that really upsets me, especially when, you know, these fake pastors and fake preachers are spending that money for themselves and aren't really helping anyone but themselves. It's really sad to see because people, you know, they go to there and they believe in God and they think that by doing a good deed and offering money to their thing that God's going to bless them. And unfortunately, I'm 100% that is not how God works. I mean, it's a personal one-on-one relationship. So just think about that before you guys think about giving anybody money.
That was who was in the White House, the spiritual advisor. She is lusting over the fact that she's getting this money. There's nothing in this world that peeves me off more than deceptive Christians that use people for money. Here's her again. I'm not going to say exactly that for sure. This is not tongues, because I have a finite brain, but I'll let you listen.
The angels have even been dispatched from Africa right now.
Come on, this is simple stuff. But yeah, go ahead, shoot the messenger.
Most Christians aren't ready for Revelation 13 actually says. Everyone talks about the mark of the beast, but almost nobody talks about the system that comes first. Revelation says that there will be a global system where buying and selling can be controlled. Think about that. For most of human history, that wasn't even possible. But today, digital currency, global technology, worldwide economic systems, for the first time ever, the infrastructure actually exists. I'm not saying it's here yet, but I'm saying the stage is definitely being set. Stay spiritually awake. The system comes before the mark.
In Matthew 24, Jesus leaves us examples of what it will look like as we are heading into the end times, the last days, the last seconds. There will be buildup and tension and birth pains taking place.
This is important that Jesus typecast the end of the age with a woman who is pregnant, so that we will know when we see this in society, that the more we see these things happening in frequency, we will know that we're getting closer to the end of the age. He did not leave us confused. He did not leave us in the dark. He did not leave us without warning. He let us know when you see these things happening in frequency, you know that the end is near.
The birth pains and the building up to is wars and rumors of wars. And first we saw the rumors, we saw the tension building, and now we are watching war break out between the U.S., Israel, and Iran. We're watching the Temple Institute and many of the religious Jews preparing all of the relics that are ready to go in the rebuilt third temple. Another part of this is earthquakes and famines in various places, and just recently a 3.0 earthquake struck South Carolina. And of course on March 3rd, we are going to see a blood moon take place like we have never seen before. Iranian missile warhead struck less than a half a mile away from the Temple Mount. Could you imagine a half a mile more in, the Dome of the Rock would have been hit and they would have been talking about rebuilding that third temple. And I don't know about you, but my spirit is telling me we're not just in the end times. We're not just in the last days. We are in the last seconds.
The aliens you're seeing. Amen. Again, what do you guys think? You think we're here? Do you think we're at the door? Do you think we walked through the door? I think we personally have walked through the door already. And possibly might even have since like 2012 is when it really started. Is when I really started noticing changes in the spirit. Seeing are actually angels who rebelled against God. For decades, people have believed that are visitors from other planets, but the truth is far older and far more dangerous. The Bible talks about angels who left heaven, choosing to defy God. These are the fallen angels, and they've been interacting with humans since ancient times. Genesis 6 mentions the sons of God coming to earth and having influence over mankind. The book of Enoch dives even deeper, describing how these beings taught forbidden knowledge and causing chaos. Now, in modern times, the UFO phenomenon is rising again. Could it all be the same deception? Imagine they show up, claiming they created us, promising salvation, technology, or secrets of the universe. Many would believe them, not knowing that they are the same beings that rebelled against God thousands of years ago. The Bible warned us about this deception. Knowing the Word is the only way to see through it. Don't be fooled. Follow me for part 3. We're we're going deeper into the book of Enoch and the truth about the Nephilim.
Did you know the Bible literally tells you what people will look like in the end times? It goes through a whole... 2 Timothy chapter 3, where it says this, in the last days there will be times of difficulty, for people will be lovers of self. Think about that. Are we not seeing that? Click, selfies, everyone's obsessed with themselves. Lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to parents, ungrateful, unholy, slanderous, reckless, without self-control, swollen with conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. And then here's the last trait, having the appearance of godliness, yet denying its power. Avoid such people. So it goes through this whole list, basically sharing pride, lust, and greed. Those are the three things. And Jesus actually gives us a playbook for how to avoid those things, and I'll share that with you in a minute. But the last thing it mentions, having the appearance of godliness, but denying its power. What does that mean? A religious person, a Pharisee, a whitewashed tomb that does the whole song and dance, but its heart really hasn't been changed. Avoid religious people in the end times. And you see, religion just covers up the yuck on the inside. It's a whitewashed tomb, inwardly decaying, outwardly.
I totally agree with this gentleman. Religion is, it can be a gateway to meeting the man upstairs, but it will always come down to a one-on-one relationship. And religion doesn't want that, or religion doesn't give that. It wants you to go through religion and then to God, when really it's supposed to be you and then God, no in between.
Looks all nice and neat. And it looks like this list, which again, pride, lust, and greed. And what does Jesus say to do? What are his three things that he says to do to avoid that? Becoming that person. Sure, we need to avoid the religious people, but how do we not become the religious person? Well, there's three things. You fast, you give, and you pray. It's why I care so much about Compassion International sponsoring impoverished children, because this is something where when the Holy Spirit moves in your heart, you cannot see the least of these in the world and not move to compassion. If you're feeling moved right now, click the link in my bio and go to war with greed. And then go to war with lust and fast. And then pray and submit all your ways to the Lord, and the pride will dissolve from your life. This is the biblical model: to pray, to give, and to fast, and to avoid becoming the religious person that's got to cover it up with something else.
Most people Wow. I totally agree with that gentleman's comments. Yeah, what do you guys think? And just again, this is for entertainment purposes. Make sure you guys do your own research, okay? It's very important you go out and you study yourself and you learn more about what's going on, because right now is the greatest information in time. It even says so in the Bible that stuff's going to speed up and what's hidden is going to be uncovered. So there's a lot of stuff being uncovered. There's a lot of knowledge that you could be dissolving on and getting a grasp on really what's going on in this world right now. Because really, the devil wants to put out confusion. He is the author of confusion. And Jesus wants to hand you truth. So we all have a choice, and it's a very important decision to make. And unfortunately, that choice is yours, or it's mine, because that's how much our Creator loves us. Understand the false prophet, and it's closer than you think. Revelation 13 says there will be two figures: the beast, a global leader; the false prophet, the one who enforces the system. Almost nobody talks about the false prophet rules first. This isn't just prophecy, it's about control. The false prophet will push allegiance to the system, force people to follow global rules, prepare the world for the mark of the beast. And the mark? It's not just a number, it's your access to everything: buying, selling, survival. You may not see it coming, but the system is forming today. The question isn't if. The question is, are you spiritually ready before it's too late?
Look at what's going on in the world. You know, it's interesting. The Bible says that there will be cries of peace, and then a destruction will follow. So many are pointing to how what we are now seeing, well, just a week before this, there were cries of peace. And Notice what Kushner said at the Board of Peace meeting. Notice what he says. This first Board of Peace meeting was nearly 4 hours long, but if you watched it, paying close attention, a few things do become clear. These powerful individuals and kings are basically planning to unite in a way that will make them the global brokers of peace.
And we're going to straighten out Gaza. We're going to make Gaza very successful and safe. And we're also going to maybe take it a step further where we see hotspots around the world. We can probably do that very easily. This is a tremendous group of powerful people and brilliant people. And I think that we can do things that a lot of other people would not be able to even conceive of or think of.
Mr. President, your clear vision to promoting global peace has inspired my country to join the Board of Peace.
Joined the Board of Peace. We are committed to its success. With the leadership of President Trump, this vision of real peace will be achieved.
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Mr. President, has been seeking peace and justice in the Middle East for a very long time. It is a pleasure to be here with you as we embark on a journey towards establishing a lasting and just peace in the Middle East.
These are the most powerful people in the world, they're the richest people in the world through their countries, and they have made a tremendous commitment, and the United States likewise has made a tremendous commitment.
The Bible does say that true peace will only come when Jesus returns, when he splits the Mount of Olives in halves. But before that, there will be a false peace declared, and then war will continue until Jesus comes to protect Jerusalem. Now, in years past, many of us who explore Bible prophecy, we always taught that the United Nations would likely be a key end times force in the false global peace described in the Bible. But now, many are keeping their eyes on this Board of Peace because it seems to have the plans and the backing and the financing for reaching far beyond what the UN is doing. And this Board of Peace is branding itself as an organization that will also see the unification of the Abrahamic faiths.
President Donald Trump, I take this opportunity to extend congratulations. The meeting comes during the holy month of Ramadan, where we will pray to Almighty God that our endeavors will bring peace, security, prosperity to the world. As a founding member of the Board of Peace, the Kingdom of Bahrain recognizes and endorses the tremendous potential of this body, the extraordinary drive of its chairman, and his sincere efforts to unify nations in our common objective of fostering and enduring peace for the Middle East.
It's branding itself as an organization that says it will start with Gaza and then will expand its Gaza plans globally. Kushner said that himself.
Thank you, Caroline, and thank you, Mr. President. If Jews and Muslims work together, Israelis and Palestinians with Americans and English and Bulgarian and people from all around the world, then we can kind of join on a common goal, which is peace and togetherness, prosperity for all people in all ways. This organization is bringing a new approach and new ideas and new people together in order to effectuate it.
So you see, Gaza is only a stepping stone. After that, the AI smart cities, the digital ID and monetary tracking implemented there will then be implemented globally. He has unveiled the plan. And Trump? Well,
exactly, guys. It's exactly my hypothesis on why they even came out with AI right now. It wasn't to give us regular citizens a leg up. It was to cause confusion, because if we all can't trust each other, if we all can't trust even the news or presidents, because there's so much fake AI videos out there, that they're going to have to implement a system. And again, that system will be the mark of the beast, a mark in the head, or a mark in the hand, or a mark in the forehead. I don't know. That's just my hypothesis, but they work. They're always working towards something, and it's always something not good for us. let's go ahead and continue. What do you guys think so far? Remember, this is for entertainment purposes, okay?
You know, for a long time, many wondered, will he seek a third term as president? And honestly, with this board of peace, with the world's most powerful leaders coming together to fund it. Remember, they said raising money is not even an issue. Like, they got the funds.
This is not a problem of money.
Mark said we don't really have a resource issue here, although we are going to need everyone's support. We just need to be executing and doing this in a good way.
And so with this organization, you have the world leaders backing it, the world's kings joining to empower it. As long as Trump is the head.
I got an idea. How about you give some of that money to some of us Americans over here, like our soldiers that are out on the streets and families and that are out on the streets living under bridges. Yeah, I think we should worry about more what's going on at home than worrying about what's going on in the rest of the world. You can't go wanting to clean someone else's house when your house is looking no good itself.
Head of it, he won't need to seek re-election. As the king of this peace board, he will have global authority indefinitely. So it's interesting, absolutely. And the next few years, my friends, will be very insightful, eye-opening, to say the least. And so I encourage you to stay watching. Things are shaping up just as the Bible said they would. And for those of us on Christ's side, it's exciting to live in times such as these. God bless.
Hey, shout out to AOC Network on YouTube.
So y'all really want to know about the end times. Pre-trib, post-trib, little season. But now, let me show you guys how much we really just don't know. In Revelation chapter 20, we see that after this first resurrection, that there's a millennial kingdom for 1,000 years. And after this 1,000 years, where they reign with Jesus Christ on the earth, that he loosens the devil for a season to trick all the people on the earth. I'm not going to tell you what to believe, but let me show you all the biblical historical things that did happen in the first century that we have documented. By the way, again, I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm not even telling you what I believe. I'm just giving you facts. Did you know in Zechariah 13:14, it talks about Jesus Christ descending on the Mount of Olives, and that there'll be a crack half a mile to Azel, downtown Jerusalem? Did you know that there was a massive crack in the Mount of Olives? You can see it on the screen right here. And it went exactly half a mile to Azel, and they built inside the crevice. Now, what I'm about to say here is really important. All the dates are lies. I'll prove it to you in a minute, but just keep that in mind as I show you these things, that every date is falsified, and I can prove it. In Revelation, in the tribulations, we have the stars falling. Did you know that all the stars fell out the sky in the late 1700s? The sun will go dark. Did you know that in history, they say 536 AD, we're going to get to these dates, that the sun went out for 18 months, and they claim it was a volcano eruption. But it was actually written about in a book called, or manuscript called, The History of Wars. Let me read it to you guys what it says. It says that, and it came about during this year, a most dreadful portent took place, for the sun gave forth not its light, or without brightness, like the moon, during the whole year, and it seemed exceedingly like the sun was in eclipse. For the beams it shed were not clear, nor such as accustomed to be shed. And from that time, when this thing happened, men were free neither from war, nor pestilence, nor any other thing leading to death. Wait, why didn't we learn that? There was a period in time when the sun went out for 18 months across the entire earth. And in this time, there was massive tribulation, and people were free from no kind of death whatsoever. Crazy. Do you know that there was a historian, Flavius Josephus, a very renowned Roman scholar. And in the first century, he details having witnessed, as well as other people, seeing a great army in the heavens come down and destroy the Romans during the great Jewish-Roman war. He also wrote down about how all the Hebrews were unalive in this time. He said just about all of them were unalive in this period of time. Now, what we're talking about is the desecration, the destruction of the Second Temple. And Jesus said, "Sure, I tell you that there will not be one stone left upon another, People say we're waiting for the third temple. When Daniel wrote about the second temple, the temple that was coming when Jesus came, there was no second temple. Daniel wrote that about 50 to 100 years before the second temple even existed. He was speaking on the second temple, which Jesus said was going to be destroyed. Not to mention these 70 weeks of Daniel we take it from was 70 times 7 years. And if you look at when Daniel wrote that, it was exactly 69 weeks, 69 times 7 years, when Jesus came and was cut off, but not for himself, but for us.
I don't know, very interesting hypothesis. I've heard this idea before that the tribulation and all that has already happened and we're living at the end of the 1,000 years where Satan gets destroyed. I mean, that would be really mind-blowing, because what if, I mean, for Satan to trick us all, is that even fair? I mean, is that even right? I mean, I don't know. It's a very interesting thought, though. But as I said, these are very confusing times. The only thing we have is the Word. Everyone just went back to scrolling like nothing happened? Think about that for a second. We are talking about billionaires, celebrities, politicians, connected to one of the most evil scandals ever exposed. And the easiest part? No one seems mad. No riots, no national outrage, no national media coverage, just silence. So I started asking myself a question. Why? Is it because the people involved are too powerful? Is it because the system protects its own? Or is it because the truth is so dark that people would rather pretend it isn't real? But the Bible warned us about this. In the book of Ephesians 5:11, it says, having nothing to do with the fruits of darkness would expose them. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Darkness is being exposed. And when that happens, people have to choose. Ignore it or demand the truth. Because evil only survives when people stay silent. Tell me in the comments, why is everyone acting normal after this?
I was hoping...
Right, how can everyone just go on with normal life? I mean, I understand we all have to go on with normal life. We all have bills to pay. We all have things to do and take care of. But how can you not go on like even just talking about it constantly or letting people know like what's going on? And do they even know what's in the files? Have you guys done your research? Have you dug into the files yourself, or are you listening to what other people say? Because really you got to do your own research. You got to dig in, you got to buckle down, and you got to unfortunately look at some really horrible things. And then once you see, then your eyes could be opened.
Hoping that somebody would comment this on the video, because I'm really not sure if I can actually say this on TikTok, but if you look up Revelation 3:9, it says, those of you who are of the synagogue of Satan, who claim to be Jews and are not. That is what God's word tells us. Their Messiah is the Antichrist. That is why they are building the third.
That's the whole thing with Mr. Trump, Mr. Kushner, the peace plan that they have going on over there. Everything is unfolding exactly, precisely the way the Bible said it would. He gave us the blueprint to everything, so we know what comes next.
Temple. That is why they are sacrificing the red heifers. That is why we are watching all of these things take place that God tells us would happen in order for the Antichrist to step out onto the scene. Those things were not happening 50 years ago. Those things were not happening 10 years ago. They are happening right now to usher in their Messiah, to usher in the Antichrist. Ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you, we are so close to going home.
So my dream was, it was a rapture happening. And I was in school, and then I heard a trumpet noise. So the whole place shook. The whole place shook, and then my teacher said it's happening. And then I said, what's happening? And then she said the rapture, and I was like super duper excited. I looked out the window and I thought I saw like a big light coming down, and then I looked closer and I was like, that is a big light coming down. And then there's clouds all the way around it, and then Jesus was coming slowly down, And then when he hit the ground, we all went up slowly, and then we went into the clouds, and there's like a whole other place, and it was heaven.
What did it look like?
It looked like it was on a cloud, but it wasn't. It was like a very fun place, and it was like full of flowers, like maybe like so many ponds, so many rivers. It was like very beautiful.
Did it have like, did it look like Earth?
It looked kind of like Earth, but a little
Better?
Yeah, a little better. We could fly. We went up at the...
Did we have wings?
Yeah, we had wings.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we flew where?
We flew up in the sky, and like we all were so fun. And then Bear came over, and she...
Our dog?
Yeah. And then she had tiny wings too, and
She's a Yorkie, guys. She weighs 5 pounds at the most.
Yeah. And she had little legs, so she could fly up the sky, just tiny. And it was super funny. After that, we went into like a building where Jesus was in, and we had a feast, and it was like a big feast. Yeah. Everyone that was in heaven came over, and then after we ate, there was a war. There was a war against Satan.
Okay, let's back up. When you got taken up to heaven, right? Did you look down and see the earth at all? No. You just went, your head was straight up? Okay. But Jesus came all the way down to earth to get us? Okay. So we're at the table, we're eating, we get done. And then what does Jesus say?
And then Jesus says, go put on your armor. And we all went on, and we all go and put on our armor. The color was silver and gold. So like the straps were gold, and then the big metal pieces were silver. And then I was riding Ratchet.
Hold on. Okay, we have horses too?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have, in real life, we have 4 horses, and she's got her own horse, and his name is Ratchet, and he is 32 years old, and he's got, what, like 4 teeth left? Okay, so Ratchet was up there. Did he look like a young boy now? He's a little pony. So you're riding your little pony. Okay.
And then...
Was I riding my horse? Yeah. Really?
He was not bad. We were just coming down straight down at our horses, and then we're going slowly, and then we went forward like this with the horses' heads were pointing down, and it went super fast down, and then we all landed, and then we all just ran and invited Satan.
What did it look like on earth from heaven?
It looked like it was destroyed.
Really?
Yeah. I saw like dead bodies, and it was super scary down here, but I just concentrated on the demons.
The what?
The demons.
Oh, okay. She's got a cold, so I thought you said demons. Okay, so from up in the sky when we were coming down and you saw Earth, did it look like, you know how you see on globe and it's blue and green? Did it look blue and green?
No, it looked like black and red, and there were even kids fighting against us.
Like your age kids?
Yeah.
So she's 6. So there's 6-year-olds fighting against us. Were they human?
No, they just looked like demons. And the demons looked like they were super scary, but I just kept an eye on them, and I just whiffed that scaredness away. And I just started, once I got to a demon, it was so fun fighting it, and like,
with what? How are you fighting?
I was just waving my sword, and then it had...
Did you say anything to it?
No, but it said something to me, you'll never win, Satan will. And then I went up to it.
Did you kill him?
Yeah.
How? With the sword? Yeah. Did you stab him or what?
I stabbed him in the thigh. The demons were like running away, and then we went up.
Was there people here or just demons?
Just demons.
Okay.
And then we went up back to heaven, and it was...
Why did we go back to heaven?
Because we were going back to heaven to celebrate.
Okay.
And
so were there any demons left in the room? So what did the earth look like when we left?
It looked like all the pods were red.
What pods?
The pods. Pods. Like,
Oh,
or pods.
all pods.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the water was red. The ground was black.
So the grass was burnt up, the water was turned to blood. It's all in Revelations. Okay, keep talking.
And then our playset was like,
So we were here by our house?
yeah, we were like, it was like, everyone's house was like black and red. The roofs were red, but the inside was red and black. And
So it was like burnt. Right. So was the sun out when we were?
no, it wasn't.
No sun?
There's no sun. All the trees were down. All the leaves were broken, and the trees were black.
Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you made it to the end, go ahead and hit a fire emoji. Let me know what you guys think of the content. You think we should go a little more deeper into these deeper dives? Let me know what deep dive rabbit holes you want me to go into. If you want to send me any clips, you can go ahead and send it to my Gmail. That's vincebacchus87@gmail.com. Go ahead and drop your videos there, and if I play your video, I'll give you a shout out. Anyways, thank you for hanging with your boy. Make sure you guys stay prayed up, and remember, this video was for entertainment purposes. I love y'all. Peace.